How do you calculate a
How do you
fictitious force?
calculate something that
Okay.
doesn't exist?
So
That defies physics.
okay. Good point. Good point. So let's say you're driving in a car around a curve, right? You have an
Hmm.
angular momentum that you feel this angular momentum. You want to keep going straight, but the car is curving. So to
Correct.
you, inside the car, you feel like you're sliding to the outside of the car. Enough so that if you had a camera inside of that car, you could measure the force that was carrying that person out. So you can measure
Correct.
the centrifugal force without a centrifugal force being present.
Oh, okay.
Go
Or
ahead.
the other side of that is, or what they used to call centrifugal force, you are now calling angular momentum.
Well,
That is
centrifugal.
actually what's going on in the
Yes.
pseudoscience community. They've
Okay.
changed the name of the force and applied the mathematical equation from one to another in order to disprove, oh, well, centrifugal force doesn't happen. Centrifugal force is the same thing as angular momentum. It's the exact same force.
Right. You can use the same to calculate the other, but what we do is we use centrifugal force to explain what we experience inside of a reference frame. So
Okay,
inside
but
of the reference frame, you feel like you're being pulled to the outside when you're not. You really just have a desire to keep going straight.
well, you do, but you're going around a curve. That
Right.
force is called centrifugal force.
Right, right. I understand.
Any
But what
any,
I'm saying is that you can measure that even though there is no actual force that's pulling you to the outside of the car. That's what I'm saying by a fictitious force.
no,
There's
it
not
is no,
actually
it's not.
something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If it was a fictitious, if it was a wow, the tongue's all getting all twisted here. If it was a fictitious force, it would not affect matter.
Meaning what?
Meaning you're using two arguments and bouncing in between the two.
No, no,
Any
no.
physicist, hold on, let me
Okay.
finish. Any physicist will tell you that any real physicist will tell you that centrifugal force is absolutely a force because they
Right.
calculated for that when they allegedly launched rockets in an orbit. They didn't used to
Let.
call it angular momentum. They didn't used to call it gravity or
Mhm.
falling. They used to call it centrifugal force. Why? Because the outward force on an object, it doesn't matter straight or angular, although the calculations are different, okay, cause it to be held up. When
Okay.
I take
So.
a coin and I tie it to I'll give you an example of an experiment here. Coin, string, swing it around over your
Uh
head.
huh.
That's centrifugal force. What you
That's
call
two
angular
forces.
momentum.
That's two forces. That's centrifugal
Well, you
and
have velocity.
centripetal. Hold on.
No,
Yes, that is
there's no
centrifugal and
centripetal.
centripetal. Yes, it is.
There
Because
is no
listen,
centripetal force.
let me
Go ahead.
ask you a
Go ahead.
question. Let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you a question. The moment you cut that string, what happens? Does the coin, does it continue on a circular path or does it go straight?
No, it goes straight.
Okay, so without the
Sure.
centripetal force, you cannot have the centrifugal force.
Okay. Thank you. So your centripetal force then is the string to which that is attached.
Yes.
Because that is okay. All right. But that's not a force. That's an object holding it in place.
Oh, no, 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 no. I beg to differ. That's a force that's holding that object together. Because if there was no force holding that object together, which ultimately defines what the centripetal force is, right? Because let's say you have a strength within the string. If you exceed the strength of that string, you break the centripetal
Correct.
force.
If
Okay,
the weight of
so
if the weight of
there
the
is.
objects exceed correct.
Yes. So there is a centripetal force that is holding it together that is measurable, and you can take that away. And the moment you take that away, you lose the centrifugal force
Oh,
as well.
okay.
Fatality.